Okay, certainly if I were doing the problem, you visualize it in my mind, but I'd say I know one of these curves is a parabola like this over here. And I'll put that down. And I'm talking about this guy over here. And I know there's a vertex here. And what's vertex going to be? Well, minus b, that's going to be 4 over twice a, which is 2. So the vertex is going to be 2. Now I'm going to compute the actual value for that. And what do you get there? We get 4. I'm plugging in the 2 on the g, by the way. And then minus 8 plus 10. So 4 minus 8 is minus 4, and minus 4 plus 10 is going to be 6. Again, relatively simple. Again, they ask another question about this. They're not asking me to graph it, but they're saying, where would the graph of these two things intersect? And by the way, I know I got a line over here, and what I want to do is talk about they intersect when they're equal to one another. So I'll say when 8x minus 10 is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 10. Well, this is x squared minus 12x. I subtracted 8x from both sides. Now I'm going to add 10 to both sides, and that's plus 20. That equals 0. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to say it looks like it might factor. If it doesn't, I'll use the quadratic formula. And my assumption is going to be pretty easy to do, though. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to say it looks like 2 and 10. Minus minus. Does that work? You do get x squared. You do get minus 12x. You get plus 20. All right? So I'm going to say these things intersect at 2 when x is 2. Maybe I should write that a little differently. And the other place where x is equal to 10. Well, you know what? I think I'm ready to put this down now. And certainly, I know the line goes through the point where x is 2. And the other place it goes through is, I'll put over here. And again, I'm not saying it's an accurate picture, but it's probably good enough for me. And this would be 10. That's when x equals 10. When x equals 10, again, it's not properly scaled. At least, I don't have any numbers now. I shouldn't say it's not properly scaled, but it's pretty easy to figure that out because the line goes through that. I'm not looking at the parabola anymore. Whoops, sorry about that. I'm going to back up. I'm going to draw a better line. And I want to be careful about this. I want to put down the point. Not that I need it, but it's nice to know there's a point there. And the point would be when x is 10, you plug into the line or the parabola. They got to intersect there. But the line's easier. So you get 80 minus 10, which is 70. All right, let's check the k and see if they agree with us. I got 2, 6. I got 1070. That's done. I'm going to start to make some erasures. And not everything, by the way. But what I want to do now is go to the next question. That's compute the area. And again, I want to emphasize to you what you're doing is you're pulling a rectangle here. And what you're doing is you're going to, write an integration down. And we're moving along the axis. So we're starting at 2. And we're going to stop at 10. What's the upper curve? It's actually the line, which is 8x minus 10, minus the lower curve, which is that parabola. And this is the height of that rectangle, by the way. What's the width of it? Dx. All right, let's do that next is, I guess I have to do some work here. And what do you get over there? We got to be careful here. So it's going to be, I got to start with the number first. So let's say this is equal to 2 to 10. And let's see, you got minus 10. You know what, I'm just going to start with the x squared then. So minus x squared. I got that part covered. 8x, let's see, plus 4x is 12x. So I just did those two over there. And minus 10 is minus 20. And that's going to be dx. I'm going to do the antiderivative now. And, the bottom line is you realize that each step you take, I hope the prior step is correct, because if it's not correct, what goes forward is not correct. It's going to be x cubed over 3. And then I'm going to get plus, well, that'll be x squared over 2. And 2 goes into 12 6 times. And then minus 20x. The limits of integration go from 2 to 10. All right, and certainly someone can say it's really tough arithmetic. You decide, but I would say I want to do it. And what do you get here? Upper limit, that's 10 times 100, so you get minus 1,000 thirds. Then you can get plus, that's going to be 600. And then minus 200. We'll do the arithmetic later, by the way. Minus, well, I'm going to do the lower limit now. That's going to be minus 8/3 plus, let's take a look. That would be 4 times 6, which is 24. Minus 2 times 20 is 40. All right, again, I always say the way I do arithmetic, the way you do arithmetic may look different, but the outcome should be the same. I see this minus that. All right, so it's going to be minus, let's see, 992 over 3. 600 minus 200 is 400. Okay. 24 minus 40 is going to be minus 16, so it's going to be plus 16. Let's keep moving, all right? And I'm going to calm down over 3 now. Minus 992. Well, 3 times 400 is 1,200. And 3 times 16 is going to be 48. All right, I'm going to keep going. Got a 3. Well, let's see, you get 208. Make sure I did that right. Yeah, 208 plus 48. And that's going to give me what? 256 over 3. That's the way I prefer to see the answer, by the way. Although it's improper, I prefer to see the answer that way. What I'm going to do now is just, kind of look at the K and, see if we got this information out of here. And again, when I'm doing that, you should have that written down somewhere. Now, granted, if there's a mistake somewhere in the problem, you'll notice that the work I'm putting over here looks a lot less than work over here. I got to do some work to get these numbers over here. And they kind of all boil down to this number over here. Question is the same number they got over here. It's the same number. They also did an approximate for it, all right? Now, certainly, let me just go through that with you. If they're asked to approximate these things and you're not using a calculator, the way I would do that, I'm sorry about that, is I would do a long division. There's other ways to do it, by the way, but I'm going to say, for me, it's long division. 256. I'm going to say 8. 8 times 3 is 24. It's really not 8, it's 80, but most people just say 8. Then you subtract to get 1, and you get 6. And I would say 5. 5 times 16 is 15. Subtract, you get 1. You got to add a decimal now. And that would be 3. And what's nice about this is it just keeps repeating itself now over and over again. So it's 85.3. It just keeps repeating itself. And that's why the approximation does say 85.333. Thank you.